Nah, nope. Profit. Yo, where you at? Where you at? My homie Lou on the mic. Them other hosts need to stop. They ain't doing it right. If you ain't turned in the loop, what you doing with your life? Conversation so sharp, it ain't your usual night. We got athletes, entrepreneurs, even celebrities. Politicians discuss nationwide discrepancies. Hardcore tackling issues in our community. Spreading on knowledge, creating an opportunity. Tune in live with Liteskin Lou. Tune in live with Liteskin Lou. Tune in live with Liteskin Lou. Tune in live with Liteskin Lou.
Liteskin Lou. Liteskin Lou. Liteskin Lou.
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Liteskin Lou has landed. Welcome to the first episode of Live with Liteskin Lou. First of all, I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. And as I said before, I have a very special guest, man, and I'm super, super excited to have this guy on the show. But before I bring him out, I need you to do your part. I did my part by getting the champ here. Now it's your time. It's your time to do your part. I need you to get in here, come through that door, swing it for that like button. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Now that I got that out the way, let me introduce this guy, man. He really needs no introduction the world over, man. Since age 9, this guy has reaped havoc on the boxing world, represented DC to the fullest, picking up amateur tournament after amateur tournament, back and forth. Fast forward to the pros where he racked up a record 35, 5-1, 17 knockouts, becoming a 2-division world champion, fighting the best to the likes of Earl Spence, Timothy Bradley, Amir Khan, Lucas Matiste, Kendall Hart, Victor Ortiz, Danny Garcia. If I left anybody out, Lamont, let me know. You can't make this resume up, man. You can't. And this guy has represented DC to the fullest. He is none other than Lamont Havoc Peterson. That's right. That's right.
What's going on with you?
Not much, man. Lamont, I appreciate you taking the time. Welcome to the channel. What's going on, champ?
I'm just chilling at the house, man, right now. Get me a little workout in just a little bit before this, but I finished up just in time.
That's right. That's right. You know, big bro, Lamont, we're going to stare right on into it, man. Time is of the essence, man.
Right, let's get to it.
All right. Lamont Peterson, the trainer, not the boxer, the trainer. What's it been like and how have you gotten used to it?
I'm enjoying it. Enjoying it like hell. Like, you know, I have fallen in love with the sport of boxing, I think since the age of 5. When Star Child first brought the gloves over the house and let us, me and Dre, box each other. It was like, and I think y'all was watching Pernell Whitaker fight that night, something. And it was just like from there on, it was just on. But so I always enjoyed the sport, but just enjoying it on this side now, where I'm not the one have to get up and go around and do all these other things. But I enjoy it. It's very satisfying for me.
Okay, yeah, and I can see that, man. It's just like I would think that when you don't have to do it no more, it's a great feeling. You know, you're like, I don't have to, you know, get up running no more. I have to watch what I eat, but man, you do that anyway. But yeah. I would think that it would be a good thing. So I'm gonna go into my second question, man. May 28th just passed. You had 2 fighters on the card, both knockouts. Max Garland, 1st round knockout. Anthony Peterson, 6th round knockout. What do you think about their performances, and what's the next for
him? For Max, you know, of course, he needs to stay busy. You know, with him just having 2 fights and just turning pro and being 20 years old, a lot is going to be determined on how busy his progression will be determined on how busy he is. He should be fighting at least every other month. If it's on a monthly basis, that's ideal, but we could take every other month. So he should be having a date pretty soon. like you said, it was a first round stoppage, so he definitely didn't take much contact. Um, it was a good performance on his end. It didn't last long, but I did want to kind of see more. But that's just the way boxing happens sometimes.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we
So
just move on to the next one.
yeah, so that mean like his next fight, he'll probably have stiffer competition, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Honestly, his first fight was a little stiffer than this one, and things like this happen in boxing. So, um, we had one lined up, and something happened, and last minute it was this guy. Um, so it is what it is, but we move on. We be good. Like we took something from it. Just him even going through just the repetition of just going through a weigh-in, doing any media, and just being in the dressing room, getting your hands wrapped, going through that. Oh, that whole routine. That's the way to help him. So even without the fight being that
Okay.
challenge, just going through those reps, getting reps of that, just getting you comfortable and helping you just get relaxed, and you can be your best self once that happens. So it was good just going through that process. And like I said, we'll take what we can take from it and move on.
That's right. That's right. Now I'm gonna go to your other
So for
fighter.
Ant,
Yeah.
yeah, I thought he did well. I know what we're doing here. It's going to be a process, but I like the direction that we're heading. I say that it was a great performance from that standpoint, and just looking for things to continue in the next fight, and then the next fight, and the next fight.
Okay. So now Anthony's gonna campaign at the 140 division.
He can do 40 or 35, but
Okay.
likely probably 40.
Okay. Now when I talk to
5
Anthony,
pretty.
yeah, I was
It's a
thinking the
long
same
line
thing.
to be waiting there, and we know we'll be ready sometime soon in the next 2 fights or so. And
Okay.
so we just, I think 40 might be the better opportunity for like a world title fight at this moment, and like to take things slow. 35 is not out of the question, but making the weight comfortably and stuff like that is most important. And he definitely comfortable at 140, but we'll see what happens at 35.
Yeah, because I was watching him at 140, man. He looks more solid. He looks fuller in his fight. So now my question would be, um, what's the work rate's going to be like? I know he just had a fight May 28th. He got a fight coming up August 6th. Who do you see in that division, whether it be 35 or 40, that you can see him going out? Because I talked to Anthony. He said he want to go out with a bang. So is there anybody in the division that y'all got your eyes on?
Uh, yeah, Ant do, and I'm gonna leave that up to him, and I'm just helping prepare for it. I
Okay.
forgot some of the guys that he was saying. Right now, it's really like not many household names, but it's some solid fights. Not saying that they can't fight and they not excellent champions. I know Josh Taylor hold all of the belts as of right now, but they're looking to free up. All 4 belts are looking to free up in the next month or so. So with that being said, Ant just got to jockey yourself in position to fight for one of those titles.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, man, because I'm looking forward to seeing Anthony get back in the ring and, finish out strong. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. But I got a question for you, Lamont. I just was, curious, before you
Uh-huh.
came on the show. Walk me through how you became a trainer. What was that like? Like, was it one day you was just like, I got a lot of knowledge to offer to the game. Walk me through that.
For me, I knew, people were always like, man, I know when you're done, you're gonna coach, and I knew it too, but I didn't want that pressure of, or I just wanted to allow myself when I'm actually retired, am I really gonna do it? So I would always kind of like fight it off, and not
Mm-hmm.
kind of like I felt like it was kind of me accepting that and saying that was kind of forcing me into retirement a little soon. Like how things can just get sped up by that energy just getting put out there, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, you'll be a good trainer. You're gonna train. Oh, you're gonna do this, and I'm like, nah, I'm not. Whole time in my head, I know I am, but I did think that I would at least where I planned on taking 3 years out, uh, uh, just away from boxing. Of course, coming by the gym, stuff like that, but at the same time, wasn't looking to coach to 3 years in. I just wanted to give myself a break, enjoy my family, And I just figured that if I stay around boxing as soon I just was fighting, and I've been fighting for 20 plus years, I probably gonna want to fight again. I watch other fighters do it, so I'm like, I think I should give myself 3 years and then come to it. But the night that I retired, the last fight I had, that night, Ant was just like he want my help, whatever. So I'm like, of course, like what I'm saying,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
with
the
it.
start.
Yeah, that's all. So it kind of like stemmed from there, and then once getting into it on this side and diving in and just looking and trying to be the best coach that I can be. Once I opened that door, it was just like, I like what I saw, and I just gravitated to it. My family, my kids, everybody saw my passion for it, and honestly, they the ones that gave me. They knew my plan, but they gave me their blessings and say, hey, they saw it and they just like, look, just do it now. And
Yeah,
once I, talked it over with them, then it was an easy choice to
yeah,
just
and
go full time with it.
yeah, and it worked. It looks good on you, man. I had a chance to coming up to the old school gym, watching you guys work, man. It looks good on you. You seem like
Appreciate it.
you all in. You know what I'm saying? I know when somebody's
Hey,
all in. You're very tentative to your fighters. So you always been an honest guy. So I'm gonna ask you this question: how would you grade yourself so far as a trainer? How would you grade yourself?
rookie.
That's what I like about you, Lamar. You
Hey,
always
yeah, but
honest,
nah,
man.
it's the honest truth, and I'm not gonna shy away from it. At the end of the day, like I don't have experience doing this, but it's okay. I mean, of course, I understand this game, and I have a ton of knowledge, but for real, I don't really want to do it the traditional way. So I got that going on and doing things a little different. And at the end of the day, like, yeah, I know what I know and I feel comfortable with everything I'm doing, especially in the gym, because I feel like I've been doing that for a long time. But just actually being in the ring and taking the fighter to the ring to do battle, I'm the person that's going in the ring and staying in the ring, not the
Yes.
person that's getting in the ring and getting out. So getting the spit bucket, all that stuff like that take repetition. You know what I'm saying? It takes some time to get used to. Taking the mouthpiece out a certain way, like wrapping somebody else's hand. All these things, I'm doing it, but at the same time, it's not second nature to me yet. So
Okay.
I'm definitely a rookie. I ain't saying I'm a bad one. I think I'm an excellent one if I'm grading myself, but at the same time, still a rookie.
Yeah, and that's what I like about you, honest assessment, man. When I first saw you, I was like, damn, Lamont's real thin. So in my mind, I started thinking, damn, Lamont the fight again, man. He still got the fighter's body. Is that something that crossed your mind since you've been training?
Not really. Not seriously. With those thoughts, I think will cross anyone's mind that's been fighting this long. You just program to fight. So you'll put yourself in those scenarios like when I'm watching fights or watching them spar or just going over certain things with them. Like you think about it, and I think that's a natural thing, but it's never a strong urge where it's like, I really want to do it. Like at the end of the day, I'm comfortable where I am. Honestly, it's just it's a better situation because, like you said the other night, right? When I'm fighting, when they fought on the May 28th,
Mm-hmm.
I was working with two fighters, right? When I'm fighting, I'm just really myself. So I'm preparing for one person. And that's the
Okay.
part of boxing that I love. It's the preparation. It's the uh just getting prepared for a fight, just going through the whole training camp, things like that. But now I get to do it 2, 3, 4 different times, more often
Yes,
than I would do when I'm fighting. I can't fight that many times. So I'm able to help them prepare. So it just honestly, I enjoy it more. To be straightforward and honest, I enjoy it more.
that's right. That's right. I'm gonna get this PSA announcement in, Lamont. If you just getting in here, we in here. Lamont Peterson is in the building. Two division world champ in the building. Hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Show the champ some love while he in the building. My next question, Lamont. is okay, amateur. When you're in the amateurs, having that experience, does that make a difference when you turn pro? Because I look at fighters like Wilder had really no amateur experience to some degree, but he was able to come out in the heavyweight division and do good. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that makes a difference?
It makes a difference, but him being a heavyweight makes a difference too. And I'm just trying to be straightforward in what my assessment, and it's just a perspective. So it ain't no like I'm saying I'm right or wrong. It's just what I'm seeing, and it's just my perspective. But with heavyweights, it's a little easier to do. You can come late to the game
Mm-hmm.
because not so much as relied on um, a high skill set. It's a different skill set that don't require a lot of different skill
Yeah,
sets.
because heavyweight, one punch and you up out of there.
Yeah, and it's more about your physical attributes and your skill set. Not saying that they don't have a skill set, but in the lower weights, you got to develop, like I would say, a skill set, a fighting instinct,
Yes.
right? But then when you smaller, you got to have a skill set to kind of box or play defense a little more or be a better, counter puncher. All these things like most big men don't do. So
Yeah.
because you don't have to make up that much ground, you actually can catch up with the guys that have been fighting for a long time much faster. So you notice that where a lot of like the late bloomers, it's normally, I'm not saying it never happens, but it's normally the late starters, right? And Deontay did at the last moment get a lot of fight experience on that level as an amateur. It wasn't many, but he came at an
He
ideal
can't.
time
Yeah, he did. He really did.
international experience and seeing different styles, fighting against like Russia, Cuba, fight, tournaments like that. So countries like that. So he got some experience. It was last minute, and he made what things work for him, and that's what it's all about. It's not always about uh, your experience. It's about self belief and just your preparation and things like that. And he showed you that you can go a long way in this sport if you just believe in yourself.
Yeah, because I really like Wilder. I just think he's the second best heavyweight in the division. He just lost to a
A
better
great
guy.
fighter.
Yeah, I remember having you on the show last year, almost a couple months ago, and when you said, man, Fury gonna eat him up because he's just too good. And it's not that Wilder's bad. It's just
Right.
Fury is just that good.
He's that good. And, he just, to me, an all time great heavyweight. And that's tough to be. He could be tough to beat for anybody. I'm talking
Yes.
about your Ali's and whoever else who's your greatest fighter. They're going to have a tough time with him.
Yeah.
So Deontay should lost no respect on my end, but to losing to Tyson Fury, I just think that Tyson Fury is a great fighter.
Yes, he's one of the best. I had my finest researchers go back and look at your amateur career. Now, 'cause we on amateurs, I want to touch on this a little bit. Lamont, man, you fought the best, even in the amateurs, man. I remember following you, when we had cell phones and stuff. I remember I had to get to a computer and look at what you were doing,
Yeah,
man, how you were fighting in these. You were on the elite team for 2 years, 3 years, right?
yeah,
Yeah, and you fought in different countries, man, and just all the experiences that you had in the amateurs. So when you got to the pros, did that help you any when you first turned pro?
yeah. And it was kind of like a reset, right? Um, so say you start when I started, start fighting. I was actually 10 before I had my first fight, 10 or 11, but it was a local fight, and you
Okay.
kind of, like nervous, everything, you get through that, you have a few of those, and then you fighting the regionals, right? And then they'll start all over again. You fight a few of those, you're a little nervous, and it's just kind of like, okay, you get comfortable with that, then you go to the nationals. Then it's the same thing all over again. But it was the same, for me internationally. But then the international competition is world class, it's at the highest level in amateur boxing. And then when you turn pro, you kind of go back and fighting guys that just to get comfortable with, being a professional, 8-ounce gloves, no headgear, longer fights, things like that. The competition dropped dramatically. So
Yes.
it was actually an easy time, like fighting those guys, and it just allowed you to get comfortable. But I do think that picking the right fights, though you want easier fights to let the fighter get uh, comfortable with certain things. But I do think it's an art to matchmaking a fighter in the professional ranks that helps them progress, not get them beat, but challenge them and help them get better. You can have a lot of easy fights, but then when it's time to fight somebody, if you're not progressing, then when it's time to fight somebody, you got a whole issue. You know, you're not really ready and you're not really prepared. So, well, especially with somebody like Max, is like I just want to pay close attention to who he fighting.
Yes.
And too many easy fights without him learning valuable
Having
lessons
resistance,
along the
yeah.
way, it ain't gonna really help him. It's not gonna allow him to be his best self. So, to answer the question is, yeah, it was an easy time, but you know, quickly things start picking up, and the competition, you know, as we went along, was getting better. You start fighting on TV, they're not gonna just let you fight
No.
anybody.
I know, not on
Yeah.
TV
No, when
anyway.
we start fighting on ESPN, that's when the kind of competition started getting a little stiffer.
And
You
I
know,
remember those fights. I remember the step up fights, and you guys going in there, handling your business, using the experiences that you had in the amateurs, and you know, doing what you need to do. So my next question to you is, with Anthony, how far do you think Anthony could take this? I mean, you work with him, you know his talent level. How far do you think he could take this?
all the way. And of course, you know, it's a biased opinion. It's my brother. We're gonna shy
Yes.
away from that. But um, at the same time, I know without preparation and where we're going with this, I trust in that. And that's mainly what I trust in. So even if it's not my brother, you take him out the equation and you can put any name on him or any person that I don't know, I'm still gonna have that same faith because I have faith in our preparation. I have faith in this way of boxing that where we're going with this. So yeah, y'all see some.
It's funny you say trust, because when I came to the gym at old school boxing, James Baker and Sean, I guess they're on your team, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I watched how you guys worked as a team, and it was like y'all was passing each other off. It's like y'all had that trust in each other. You want to talk a little bit about your team?
Yeah, with Sean and Baker, of course, you know they've been around for as long as I've been
Yes.
playing. When I came in at 10, they were older guys who was fighting, and we watching and you know marveled over, and then eventually start you know getting in the ring and sparring with those guys, and them you know teaching me things and schooling me as a youngster, and just you know just I'm learning from them by watching them talking to me. So I learned a ton from those guys, and we had that chemistry go back 25 plus years.
Yes.
So it's easy working with those guys, you know. And I think we got a good combination going, and I, I really have a lot of faith. Like I just said, I have faith in this way of boxing, but I have faith in those guys. I have faith that everybody will do their job, and it's a team effort, and you just
Yes.
solid people on your team.
Yeah, and I picked up on that, man, instantly when I walked in there. I kind of crept in there, you know, checking you guys out, making sure
Yeah,
y'all, you know, just checking y'all. That's when I did the interview with you in the gym. I love what I saw, man. I'm very impressed on how you know you guys are all working together. Um, but I'm gonna change it up a little bit because it's a fight that's I know it's gonna happen, but it's a little negotiation behind the stage that needs to happen. Earl Spence and Crawford. I always love your breakdowns, Lamar. You always give it to me real, and 98.9% of the time it pans out. So I'm asking you, what do you think about that fight? Who wins and why?
you know, I don't like putting the win on it because I think people miss the information and the understanding of boxing when you put
Mm-hmm.
a win or loss on it, and they be like, "All right, you said he was going to win," and you really miss some of the stuff that I'm saying that a lot of people can pick up on. Anybody can win a fight, like you know what I'm saying. It could be 40-1 odds, like Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas, like and Buster won the fight, right? So it's not about who wins and who loses. This is going to be a 50-50 fight, a close fight. Um, and I'm gonna just try to break down from a standpoint of how both can win. Um, with Earl, at welterweight, he is the biggest, strongest welterweight. Period.
He is.
Right?
He really
And
is.
he know how to use his physicality. He has a great skill set of just breaking people down. He walk you down, but he don't absorb a lot of punishment when doing so. So he not losing energy. He know how to preserve his body, but wear you down. And I think that's the proper style to go with when you are the biggest, strongest person in the division. Like, that's just what it is.
You said it
And
no better, champ.
him being left-handed, him being schooled well from just traditional technique, all those are all his strong suits, and that's what he uses to win fights at a high level. He's sure of himself. He's very confident. Um, and I just think if he's going to win the fight, he need to avoid getting hit with big shots. Because Crawford do deliver big shots,
He does.
fight changing shots, and he can't afford to get hit with one of those, or a few of those, or often. So him just putting the steady pressure, not reckless, precious of course, but just be him and do what he do, and just it won't be easy, but the formula is to kind of hit the body and use his jab, be patient, hit the body, try to wear Crawford down.
Yeah. I mean,
But
I'm so excited about this fight,
on
Lamont.
the end though, like I said, Crawford won't be just sit there to let him do any of this stuff.
He ain't.
He bring a lot to the table. I think a lot of the things he's doing though is getting overlooked from the average fan. I would say that much. Even your boxers and your trainers. It's a lot of stuff that he's doing that don't get recognized because it goes outside the traditional way of boxing. But just because it's not the traditional way doesn't mean that it's not effective. So I think with him, he's like he's going to help this game evolve more. I'm saying a lot from this generation.
Okay.
It's just things that he's doing. Like, I think some people, it takes time to kind of catch up to what somebody's doing. I think Pacquiao was another one who kind of slipped through the cracks and got judged for the things that he did and the way he did it and how he did it. And I think a lot went over a lot of people's head when assessing someone like a Terrence Crawford or a Pacquiao. And you just say, oh, yeah, he just had God-given talent. That's how he got away with it. But, he really fight horribly, right?
Mm-hmm.
His style and
yeah.
for that. But it's that's a whole nother story and a whole nother conversation for another show.
Yeah, that's right. I like the way you said that because I don't think this is going to be the last time you're on here, champ.
But just sticking to the Crawford thing, like, so I think it's a lot of things he's doing, and it's not going to be easy with Earl just trying to walk him down. Again, Earl cannot take too much contact from Crawford. Crawford is the better puncher. And a lot of people look at me like I'm crazy when I say it, but he's just a better puncher. I'm not saying that Earl can't punch. I'm not saying that Earl isn't strong. I'm saying that he's the strongest in the division. But being the strongest and having the best punch is two different things. Yes. And Crawford is the better puncher. So Earl can't afford to just soak up punches or try to use his physicality when taking shots. He got to stay clean, right? And let's not get this misunderstood too. This where the challenge going to be for Earl. Earl is always the most physically, he is the biggest and physically strong person in the ring when he get in the ring. But Crawford has a wrestling background. He know how to handle himself. And he is extremely strong for a skinny guy, which is for period, just in general, right? So that's something to kind of think about too. So if Crawford can keep him at bay with using those, just using his jab, switching up, I think staying orthodox more this fight will serve him better, because if he stay orthodox and Earl southpaw, they lead legs going to be in the same, in the same position. So if he got the legs in the same position, like like your foot be right there in front. Your
Mm-hmm.
Earl right foot and Crawford left foot, they're gonna be in. So that kind of keep them at bay right there. But if Crawford turns southpaw, that'll allow Earl to get in a little easier and closer to him. And if he don't want that closeness in the fight, he should stay orthodox a little more.
Okay.
And just to kind of keep him at bay with that. They'll be positioning, fighting for position on that side. And if it's me, and if I'm coaching Crawford, then I would ask him probably stay on that side more to just kind of keep him at distance and use your jab and kind of pluck him off from there.
Yeah.
Hopefully, just catch him with a shot. Not hopefully, but look to set up nice fight changing shots because Earl's going to come in. And if you catch him, coming in, he possibly if he can hurt Earl, because that's the thing about Earl, he the biggest, strongest, guy at the weight, and he always putting steady pressure on you. He never really been visibly hurt or stung to kind of like have him question like, hey, do I really want to keep going in there? I'm not saying that he will, but I'm saying like Crawford do have that type of punching power that he can make him second guess it. And if he can second guess him and just have him hesitate just to slow up the brakes, push
Just a
the
little
brakes
bit.
just a little bit.
Yeah,
That's
I
to buy him
got
enough
you.
time to keep him at bay and get his fights off. So that's the way I'm saying Crawford win and Earl just be Earl. So
Yeah.
really, it's the person. It's a lot of mind games.
And that's why I'm looking
And
forward
it's
to this
true.
fight
And
because
it's
it's
all
gonna be a
about
chess
when it's this
match.
close, it's about who give up. I watched
Yeah.
it with Pacquiao Floyd. Being on that B side, that stuff means something.
Okay.
You start feeling like you gotta beat that person. So you end up doing something different
Yeah.
that you normally wouldn't do. I
And
saw
Floyd
Pacquiao fight.
anticipated.
I saw Pacquiao fight. Not saying that he can beat Floyd, but what I'm saying is I didn't see him fight his fight. The one that's gonna serve him best. He changed his game to adjust to Floyd, and that's the wrong thing to do. So if Earl or if Crawford, either one of them do that, then that's the person that's gonna lose. Both of them might fight their fight, and then we just in for a hell of a fight, and it's gonna be a toss up.
That's
But
right.
either one of them break their form and try to do something different, that's the person that's gonna lose.
Yeah. I'm glad I talked to you about this fight, Lamont, because it's been on my heart for so long. And I always like talking to you. I wanted to call you, but I said, nah, you know what? I'm gonna save that for when I have him on the show so we can
Yeah.
share the light, we can give it to the world, man. PSA announcement, man. If you just getting in here, swing for the fence and hit that like button. Show the two-time former champ Lamont Peterson how much love you got for him. And if you're new to the channel, help your boy out and hit that subscribe button. Lamont, we'll change it up again. About to check in with admin team, right? And we about to see what's going on in that chat.
Okay.
Admin is going to pick a few questions from the chat, and admin, have at it.
Okay, hey guys.
Hey, how you doing, admin?
How you doing?
I'm good. Okay, Lamont. I just got, let me see, one question here. This is from Thomas Hawkins. He said, Lamont, is there a possibility that you will get back in the ring?
It's always going to be a possibility. You leave that to life, but life showing me right now, if I'm reading and writing on my wall, no.
Yeah, because I remember we was at a fight and I asked you, Lamont, I said, I said, how about you retire? He was like, man, I just don't want to get hit no more. That's simple. That's simple.
But at the end of the day, like you start worrying about your health and your body and stuff like that. Like it's been shit. I think at the time, 25, 26 years of just boxing, and not just the wear and tear of getting hit, but the wear and tear of training.
Yeah.
Year after year, I wanted to always push my body to the limit. How many times you gonna do that before it starts taking effect? I'm sure some effects are there, and probably still gonna be some that show up later on in life. So
that's right.
Sometimes, I think we wait to the last minute, wait a little too late to pull the plug. And I just feel like, it was the right time for me.
That's right. Admin, do you have any more questions for the champ in the comment section or any comments going on, admin?
That's it for now. I displayed the comments up, but no more questions.
All right, thank you, Admin. Let's get Admin a round of applause. Thank you, Admin. We appreciate you.
No
Now,
problem. Oh,
right.
I got one more.
Okay, go ahead. Have at it.
Okay. Let's see. Lester said, "What's the most exciting thing about watching young Pat fight?"
It's my nephew. So my emotions are already tied into it. And so I really don't get a chance to uh watch it, and just from a just like being comfortable is just always I won't say nerve wracking, but there's some concern there. Um so the most exciting thing is just him getting the victory and moving on to the next one.
That's right. That's right. And I'm glad. Any more questions, Admin? Anything coming through? Okay.
Jose. Jose said, "Lamont, coming from a fighting family, how does your city and neighborhood play a toll in your training style?"
Uh, well, for me, I never I did use these things for motivation. It kind of helped me push. I always wanted to represent my family on the Peterson name as best I can. Uh, I wanted to rep DC as best I can, and just wanted to rep my team as best I can. So I did use all these things for motivation in a positive way. I didn't allow. I don't feel like I allow any negative thoughts or energy in. I just always try to use it in a positive way. But it just helped you get through those tough days of training, cutting weight, things like that. The days when you don't want to go run, you think about these things, and guess what? You lace them shoes up and you get out there and get them miles in.
That's right. That's right. You heard it here from the champ. That's right. He was representing. He come from a fighting family. Hey, look, we had them hands, and he said he seen it early. He seen his big bro knock dudes out.
Okay, it's a few more. Thomas has another question, and he wants to know, what was the hardest transition from boxer to training?
I can't really say it was one, but jokingly, the one getting out the ring once I led my brother to battle for the first time. Uh, the coach just like stay in the ring and go to the center of the ring. Like I got out. Like it was a lot of rookie stuff going on. Just I couldn't do nothing but laugh. I was totally comfortable in the situation, but it was a lot of rookie stuff going on. Just couldn't do that.
I got you. I got you. That's why I love you, champ. You always, honest, whether it's somebody or with yourself. You always honest. Have at it.
Okay, we got Scooter Davis in the house. Shock season.
What's going on, boy?
He said, "Lamont, who's a few amateur boxers in the DMV that you like to watch?"
I tell you what, these kids are something else, man. I tell you.
Shot himself out. He already know. Yeah, he already know. I'm gonna come check him out this weekend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nasheed, man, Scooter, all the guys. I look forward to watching all those guys, Quincy and everybody. Definitely, with them fighting everybody fighting the Golden Gloves, it's a treat to me. I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna check them out.
That's right, and I'm gonna be right there with you, champ. Friday night, shock season in the building. So what we look? Are we? They just Lamont. They just coming in. I'm sorry, man. They want to hear from the champ, man. They want to hear from the champ.
Here for.
Okay, we got the real prophet. He said, "Besides training, what is your current business investment?"
Training. We just as a family, my family, we into getting into farming and things like that. For me, the personal training thing, nutrition. So we got some stuff going off. We got a LLC, Infinite Life. I was trying to get that off and running, and that's pretty much it. So it's always everything for me is just all about wellness. Everything surrounds wellness. Anything that can help, with the physical, the mental, and from a nutritional standpoint, that's what I'm investing my time, energy, and money in.
That's right. That's right. And the chat, man, it's blowing up. They see the champ in the building. Lamont Peterson, former two-time champ in the building. Let's go with that next question.
Okay, Lorenzo Carpenter would like to know, Lamont, what's the most exciting thing about training versus boxing?
The preparation. I get to be more detailed in what's going on, to just have that chemistry between a fighter and that coaching fighters chemistry. That's what I love about it. It's just like me giving them a piece of my brain and uh, just seeing it play out, live like that. That's a thrill for me. So to answer the question, it's just the preparation.
Yeah, you see that smile on his face. He like, yeah, it's the preparation. I
Yeah.
love getting ready.
I'm all about the preparation.
That's right.
Okay. Dominique Covington, she had a comment. She said the best.
Uh-oh.
No.
Somebody's blowing up.
Oh. Sorry about that. She said the best fight was when you did all the above was against Khan. She said that was legendary.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of people, I get a lot of feedback from that fight, especially with it just being in my hometown and winning the world title. And it just didn't help that him and his team was being so annoying to people. And it was just like people really was excited about the fight. It was a lot of energy in the air that night. So it was a night to remember.
Yeah, see, let Liteskin Lou, let the host. I need to chime in on this because I got a story. I'll never forget, man. It was 2 days up until the fight. I already knew I was going, and I found myself paying attention to the fight more, the build up and stuff. And American, one of his handlers said, "Yeah." The guy asked him about what he's going to do next. He was like, "Oh yeah, the goal is still to pursue Mayweather." And I'm like, "Nigga, wait a minute." You got a bona fide champion in front of you.
Right.
And he just gonna roll like that. So that night, when you won, I wish I had seen all his handlers because I'd have been like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I was so excited because they looked, Mike, you gotta think, Lamont. They thought this much of you. They said we're gonna fight him in his own backyard and we're gonna win that title and what's name. And you ain't gotta say nothing. I'll never forget that I think it was the second round. I think you lost the first 2 rounds, right? And you were walking back over to the stool, and we looked. I was right up front, and you said, "I got him." And it was almost like you had that switch you went off. Like I got his style figured out, and I'm about to take the fight to him.
I remember it, but I of course I'm not a judge, but I think the first 2 rounds, like I just automatically like the perception is to just give him the first 2 rounds because I just didn't really turn up yet. But that second round, really look at it. really look at it, and that's why I felt the way I felt. Shaking my head like I did do that on the way back because I already.
That's right. I was right there. I remember he was like,
I was starting to feel, that groove and getting caught up with the fight pace and just the understanding of how I wanted to go about the whole thing. The understanding was there.
Yes.
So yeah, that's where things kind of started.
That's right. Like Dominic Covington says, it was legendary. Any more questions in the chat, admin? Oh, they just rolling in.
Jose said, Lamont, let us know, is Liteskin Lou the only Dallas Cowboys fan in the family?
Nope. Anthony
you got it.
is Dallas Cowboys fan for 25 plus years. That's just, with a Dallas Cowboy fan and how they act. So yeah, I just been dealing with that.
That's right. That's right.
I'm glad I ain't a Redskins fan.
Nah, we ain't even messing with them right now, man. They just at the college level right now.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, the chat is blowing up. If y'all just getting in here, 2-time former world champ, my younger brother, Lamont Havoc Peterson in the building.
Okay, we got one more question, another question from Jamar Hill. He said, I like to eat and I'm at the age that I'm gaining weight. What can I do to control my weight gaining?
Just learning how to eat. See, that's the thing about like when it comes to we just don't know how to nourish our body, and that's how we gain weight. It be simple things, and a lot of times we think that oh, we hear about diet, and you think it's like some strict eating habits, but diet is just having a plan, just an eating plan. The diet can consist of anything. You can have your diet can consist of eating all cakes and ice cream. That's still a diet. If that's your resume, that's your plan.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know how to nourish our body, and that's why sometimes we overeat because we're not satisfying the body and what it needs, and like wrong timing on food. So I just kind of say this to you, like just understanding simply what a calorie is can go a long way. And a calorie is just a measurement of energy. How much energy is in that food? So you make that make sense. If it's high calorie, it's high energy. So you need to be going out and doing something and spending some energy if you're gonna eat this food. But too many times we eat high calorie foods and we go to sleep.
Yep.
Right? At nighttime, we watching a movie and we fall asleep. And then that energy just gets stored in your fat cells and you just get bigger. So it's small things like that. Of course, it's deeper than that, and there's more things to add to that. But I'm just giving you one scenario on how we just gain weight and we just keep gaining weight. So here it is. I'm in retirement, and I'm naturally like my walk around weight is naturally smaller than I ever been since I was 18, 19 years old.
That's right. And I noticed that when I saw you, Lamont. So yeah, we're gonna go away with the chat, man. I'm about to get back and get these few questions for the champ, and we're gonna get them on up out of here. Um, it's COVID-19. It's affected people all over the world. I never got a chance to see how it affected Lamont. And what did you learn when you were in COVID-19 restrictions?
Uh, it's a subject, honestly. Uh, I'll say it didn't affect me at all.
Okay.
I didn't want it to affect me. I mean, at the end of the day, we control what we control. If we can't control it, I ain't worried about it. So at the end of the day, it was something that came and it was, it was here, but no effects on me. None.
Yeah, good. That's what I like to hear, man. It affected a lot of boxers. Actually, it took away the momentum that boxing was having before. I don't know if you remember before COVID hit, and they just pretty much did away with the fights. And the fights that they did have, it didn't have fans in the stands. But slowly but surely, things started to come back around. I look back on fights that could have been happening that's happening now. If you look back 6 or 7 months ago, Lamont, the fights have been happening. Spence Ugas,
Yeah.
uh, Porter Crawford, Castano and Charlo too. All these fights started happening. So my question to you is there any fights that you look forward to that should have happened then that can happen now?
Uh, I, I can't really say currently. I would have to kind of think about. I think it was still some good fights going on through the pandemic. Um, but I think everything I like to think positive, and I like to think that
Hmm.
everything that happened to for a better outcome. And like you just said, we got, for whatever reason, you got fighters fighting each other now, and you have all these unification bouts and stuff like that. When did that start? It started during that pandemic time. So
Yes.
get the positive and not the negative, and say that things help boxing. Of course, at the end of the day, anytime, people die or things like that, I want to look at it from a negative standpoint. But, that's a touchy subject, so I'm going to just leave that alone. But I'm just speaking on simply boxing and how it affected boxing. I think it might have did some justice for boxing.
Yes, yes, I totally agree. Now, it's a lot of stuff going on with promoters and fighters, things not working out like far as, training wise. I looked at Edward Berlinga, he just changed his trainer up. And he looked a little better. So do you think in some situations that is the trainer or is the fighter? Is it the trainer not getting through to the fighter, or is just the fighter has bad habits and he can't fix them?
It can be both. It can be either or. It can be both. That's a broader question. It's not a simple like question. It's a
Hmm.
situational thing where case by case, it can just be a case by case thing. It can be,
Okay.
and it can be the fighter. But I think ultimately it comes down to the trainer, because if you're not getting your point across to the fighter and not helping them progress, then it's just best to let the fighter know. You know what I'm saying? It's too many times where a fighter gotta, move on from a trainer. But if you see things not working out, or you just not helping them progress, of course, it's probably a pride thing. But at the same time, understand that you're not helping the person. It's just, allow them to move on, or suggest them move on, because you can a fighter knows what he know, but it's all about them. As a coach, you leading them to battle, you leading them and help guiding them, and y'all have to be on the same page. And it can
Yes.
just be a chemistry thing, and just understanding each other. And when that don't happen and that's not there, likely it's not going to be a good team. So for me, if I realize that, and I know, like, I think highly of myself as a coach, and what I understand, like, I always want to be my best,
Yes.
but I know I'm not for everybody, and I'm not going to shy away from letting the fighter know what I feel. Hey, I don't think this for you. Not saying that,
Just
okay,
off his mannerism.
boxing not for you, but this way of boxing, the way I'm going about it, ain't not for you.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm not going to, like, if that person leave and do better, somebody else get them to that point, it won't be a pride thing on my end. And it won't say, for me, I won't look at it like, oh, that coach is a better coach than I am. It's just, I'm not for everybody.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Hold on. Did we lose the champ?
Things things can work, but I mean, it might be better. Like, somebody might understand another way, a person's way better. And for me, it's all about the fighter, and I'm always want to keep the fighter's best interest at heart. So it's whatever with me. So with Belanga, um, yes, he had, to me, I didn't really dissect it, but I was looking at it, but it was on my phone, and I
Yeah, I looked at
was
it.
doing some things, but I did watch it, and I did see some new stuff that was being worked on. But this stuff takes time to kind of really get chemistry,
Yes.
and Berlinga getting comfortable with the changes and things like that. But it did look like a good start. Um, but him being effective with this new way, um, he'll probably struggle, and I think that's what I saw. He struggled with
Yeah, he
that a
struggled
little
at
bit,
times.
but he got to be patient. Him and coach got to be patient and have faith, and have stay firm on what's been going on, especially with the coach on what he teaching, because it's not the finished product. This was the first fight.
First
I
fight,
do like, I
exactly.
see what they doing, and I like the changes, but it didn't come across as smooth yet. But next fight gonna get better, and then the next one after that gonna get better than that. So it looked like he heading in the right direction.
Yeah, I think so. And that's exactly how I saw it, Lamont. I watched that fight a couple of times on YouTube. I watched it on TV too.
Uh-huh.
And I saw the same thing. People don't understand. It takes time to gradually change bad habits into good habits and making it great. And it takes a couple of fighters. I look at who was that? Jermaine Teller with Emmanuel Stewart. Remember, he switched to Emmanuel Stewart. And it took him a while to grasp the new
Yeah,
concept
yeah,
in
the
which,
new
yeah,
concept,
exactly.
and yeah, so it's just, I'm gonna just say one thing. It's just you use the word, like the phrase bad habits, but yeah, it is bad habits. But going into it a little further, it's just a bad habit of choosing things to do at the wrong time. But I
Okay.
try not to teach more like, don't do this, don't do that. Like, when it comes to your hands being down, or your foot being like this, like whatever. Like, I think boxing got too many strict rules, and it kind of keeps a fighter more what I'm doing. Am I doing something right? Am I doing something wrong? Am I doing, like, so a fighter kind of go in that mental state, like confidence start being shot. So it just like, when you said that, it kind of stuck with me because that's something that I like to stay away from. And I'm not
Okay.
saying like you can, you do what you do, but I just found it like that's just something to talk about. Like bad habits, like it's what, like, okay, me having my hand down is like a bad habit, but it's just always situational. I'm saying you a fight for me. I'm training to fight. You can have your hand down if you make sense. If you're
Yeah,
doing the
like
right things
Mayweather.
that's gonna
Yeah.
follow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like Mayweather had that hand down the whole time, but it was to kind of draw you in so he can counter you every
It
time.
was a point behind it.
So yeah,
Yes.
he had something behind it. But if you just got it down just to have it down, then we got an issue. But to never say never put your hands down, but just give them different things to kind of think about or other things to do.
That's right. That's right.
But
Yeah,
yeah, it's
Lamont,
just
I got one more question for you, man, and we're gonna get
uh-huh.
out of here, man. It's a lot of stuff that's going on in boxing. You can pick and choose whatever. What is if I gave you three things that you could change in boxing? What would it be?
Hmm. I think for me, I guess it would just be one that like the geographics of everything. It just like uh, where the fighter plays, the position that the fighter plays in this whole scenario when it comes to the business side and when it comes to, uh, yeah, just in general and just sport of boxing in general. The way the fighter get looked at, the way is a fighter is positioned in this whole scenario is almost like at the bottom. The fighter got to depend on all these people to do all these different things, from promoters, managers, trainers, and everybody else, even sometimes media.
Yes.
Uh, I just don't like that part. Well, I would say it. Yeah, I don't, and that's something that I'm definitely as a former fighter now coach that I want to help change in boxing, just for a fighter to kind of see the power and stuff that they hold and how they can take control over their career. Um, and on the business side, I'm seeing it change. And of course, evolution is always going to
Yes.
happen and going to be there. But I want to help bring that along.
I like
It's
that.
yeah. Well, I guess while we're talking, I guess it just is the things, and of course, for me, understanding um, nutrition and understanding uh, just the human body and how it works much more at this point. It's certain things like having a fight in the dressing room 6, 8 hours before fighting and saying that you can't eat or do these different things. Like
That's crazy.
I don't like that. That's something that I would like to change, and stuff that I will bring up to commissioners and stuff like that. Just like, yeah, I know it's a rule, or you saying it's a rule. Show me that in writing. And if you show me in writing, I'm saying like, even with that, did when you make these type of decisions, did you consult with a nutritionist or a dietitian or something like that before making these type of these changes? Because the fighter's health should be number one priority,
It should be.
and not eating for 6, 8 hours isn't healthy for a fighter before going in that fight. Like I said, calories is just a measurement of energy, and if you're not putting gas in that tank in the ideal time,
That's right.
yeah, that fighter not going to perform the way it need to. The body not going to respond to a stressful event, physically and mentally, as it should. So these are just little things that I want to help change. That not the fact that I just don't like or what I want to help change it. And that's just yeah. And another thing, so I'm kind of like rewording your question. I'm not saying what I
No,
don't
no,
like.
go right ahead,
I'll
champ. You
just
got the
kind of
leeway.
help the three things that I would like to help change. right? And just be better, right? So I'm just saying the position that the fighter play in this whole scenario when it comes to the business of
Yes,
boxing,
I
I would
totally
like to
agree.
change that from a nutritional point standpoint. These commission just helping the commissioners come up with something better than just telling somebody what to do and not to do with no real expert around when making these type decisions.
That's right. That's
Um,
right.
and another thing is just helping the sport just evolve from a technical standpoint. I do feel like my way of boxing, the way I'm looking at boxing and training fighters, like it'll change a lot when it comes to how the game is looked at, how a Pacquiao is assessed, or even a Terrence Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
I think at some point we'll give them more credit than we thought that they deserve. Um, and yeah, just helping the game evolve. You know, everything evolve. Like just as far as from a medical standpoint, if you needed open heart surgery 60, 70 years ago, it was, good. Pretty much, it's over.
It was a done
But
deal.
now, yeah, you can get that surgery or that the operation, and you be likely going to be good. So things always evolve. Same thing with like cell phones or cost, all this. But I do feel like in boxing, things have evolved, but in some ways, we still stuck back in time, doing things that was done 100 plus years ago. So I just want to help with that, help change that, and help the game evolve and get up to speed.
That's right. That's right. And I think you have the mannerism and you're the man for the job. I don't know if you prepared on that, but I've seen it and I heard it. Every time I'm out and about, these young fighters are going to start gravitating to you because number one, two-time world champion. It's just your mannerism, your focus on your fighter. It's just me being up there that one or two times. I was able to see how detailed that you are to your fighters. I've been in multiple gyms over the last 2 or 3 weeks, and it seems to me that some trainers are kind of hands off to some degree, and you and Max were like this. So I don't know if you prepared or not, Lamont, but these young fighters are going to start gravitating. I'm already speaking into
Yeah, yeah,
fruition.
yeah. I
So
mean,
yeah,
I can help who I can help, but at the end of the day, to be straightforward and honest, not looking for a lot of fighters because the more it ain't so much time in the day,
hmm,
and just out of respect for um, the fighters that I'm currently working with. And
yes,
honestly, I gotta ask them before take bringing anybody in because at the end of the day, it's their career, and I'm already committed to them. And if I'm going to divide their time up with taking on somebody new, that's dividing their time up that I'll spend with them. Like you said, I'm
yes,
pretty hands on. So just out of respect for them, I just ask them, is it okay if, work with such and such? And if they cool with it, they cool with it. So far, they've been cool with everybody, but I just want them to be straightforward and honest. If
yeah,
not, like it ain't
yeah,
cool. And if it ain't cool on their end, any of them, it can be 1 out of 10 or whatever, then that's what it is.
yeah. I think that's a good mindset to have because Lamont, I always thought about this over the years. Like when I used to see Freddie Roach had a Miracon, Pacquiao. When is too much? Too much? Like
Right.
when is the tension going to be on me? Like let's just say when Freddie Roach had a Miracon and Pacquiao had a big fight. Americon had to go with the second tier trainer instead of the head trainer. So I say to say sometimes it be too much. They take on too much. Like
Yeah.
you said the key word. I'm not looking for more fighters because I need to concentrate on my stable and who I have with me
Yeah,
now.
who I'm working with currently, and that's
Exactly.
another reason why I wanted to get solid coaches too. I
Exactly.
don't want it to be looked at as like like head trainer this, or like I just think that it's certain things that come with that. Now, am I gonna uh, take the lead on certain things? Yes, but they'll take the lead on certain things too. So I think it's more like a shared responsibility. I wanted to be like that, and I think just to kind of cut down on what you just said, like, you know,
Yes.
working with Freddie Roach, and, you know, of course he got the name, and, you know, he know what he know, and you start working with another guy, it's just not quite the same. And
Exactly.
the fighters don't respond the same. That's the main thing that I'm talking about, just the fighters respond. The person might know what he know, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking at being looked at as a secondary coach, will that fighter still respond the same way?
Exactly.
And likely not. So I just kind of want to avoid those things. Again, just doing things different. I'm not saying that someone else's way don't work, or not judging any other way to do it. I just want to try to do something different. I feel like it's going to be best for me and the people that I'm working with.
That's right. That's right. That's right, y'all. Y'all just getting in here. I'm about to close the show. Lamont Peterson, Lamont Havoc. This dude caused havoc in the body. This man used to go to the body like no other man. Lamont Havoc Peterson in the building. And we about to close this show because we got things to do. Lamont, you know, I always give flowers before I go. I want to give you yours again because I think you're on the right path. We both are embarking on new paths. I remember we talked. You dropped me off to my car. We talked a little bit, and just both of us are embarking on something new. And I really think we both are going to do good.
We do
good
great.
things.
We do great.
Yeah, great things. That's right.
Yeah, because
you know, first of all,
you got your vision.
Yes.
And I already know it's, you know, you being my brother, and I just know the family, just how hard we work at stuff. And when we got our sights set on something, it's coming.
Yeah, like I'll tell you, I was listening to Tupac the other day, and it hit me. He said, I got my mind made up. And then you like, when you get your mind made up, when we as Petersons get our mind made up, we kind of go full throttle with it. And you've done that your whole career. Ever since you was 9 years old, you went full throttle. You represented DC to the fullest. Now you're a trainer. You leading your younger brother to a comeback trail. Patrick, my nephew Patrick Harris, about to do his thing. So I look forward to you doing big things, man. I really do. I really look forward to you doing big things. So with that being said, man, before we leave, Lamont, I got a couple of people because I want to leave out together. I don't want to leave out you leave and I leave. I think we need to leave out together. So before I leave, I want to give us shots out to people, because whenever you're doing something and you're doing something big, there's always people who influenced you or help you along the way. So if you don't mind, I want to thank a few people before we get up out of here. I want to thank my assistant, Kiki. Thanks for all the backstage work. You the bomb. My sister Evie, my brother Jerry Peterson, my man Savage Nation 51, Elo, my man Ernie Anderson, and special thanks for pulling off a masterpiece at the last minute, DDRE Music and Films. My man Duck, Prophet, the guy who put the tracks down, laid the song down, Rooster, and my man Bump City in the building. And with that being said, y'all, we would love to stick around, but the champ got something to do, and so do I. So with that being said, stay humble, stay hungry, and just live life to the fullest. Lamont, I look forward to seeing you real soon.
Same with you.
Good night,
anytime,
everybody.
man. You know, I'll be back on, man. I talk boxing all day.
That's right. That's what I love about you. You're going to get it straight from the champ. Once again, let's give it up for the former two-time champ, DC's own Lamont Havoc Peterson. So with that being said, we up out of here. Follow my Instagram handles for the next interview coming soon.
Yeah. Nah, no profit. Yo, where you at? Where you at? My homie Lou on the mic. Them other hosts need to stop. They ain't doing it right. If you ain't turned in the Lou, what you doing with your life? Conversation so sharp, it ain't your usual night. We got athletes, entrepreneurs, even celebrities. Politicians discuss nationwide discrepancies. Hardcore tackling issues in our community. Spreading our knowledge, creating an opportunity. Tune in live with Liteskin Lou. Tune in live with Liteskin Lou. Tune in live with Liteskin Lou. Tune in live with Liteskin Lou.
Liteskin Lou.